participate in Georgia State University summer workshop. Actually, my title is Embedding Technology in Teaching Translation. Have you ever been paying your attention? How do your students learn? Are they spatial, linguistic, interpersonal, spatial, musical? Have you ever thinking about how do they learn? Actually, you know, students, they are digital learners. Why? Because they are born in a digital world where they expect to be able to create, consume, remix, and share material with each other. Let's start with, why did I choose this topic? You know, I'm interested in this topic of embedding technology in teaching translation as I learned from Georgia State University workshops. I believe that this topic in Iraq will have to evolve to focus more on translation effectively, or translating, and highlighting the role of technology in facilitating processes of both teaching and learning. My goals: incorporating technology in teaching translation in the classes that I teach in the College of Languages, and conducting my own translation or interpretation research related to this context. Now, what is technology? This is a definition actually I quoted from Dr. Bunting in our course workshop. Technology can be defined as any electronic, hardware, or software that has an impact or effect on, number one, language instruction or practice, 2, building cultural awareness, 3, classroom management, 4, teacher development. For example, we have digital cameras, computers, websites, chat rooms.
Today about the focus of my presentation is teaching a novel course for junior classes at the Department of English College of Languages at University. Now, I'll try to see, not only to give you what I teach there, but I'll try to demonstrate all the tools, methods of teachings, the tools, the skills that I've learned throughout the past 3 weeks in our workshops, and I'll try to incorporate these into, when I incorporate these skills, these tools, once I return back to Baghdad. So this is the connection that I want you to see. Okay? Now, is anyone of you interested? Let me get my British accent. Anyone of you interested in the historical background and culture of Britain? Back to America. Is anyone of you interested in the historical background and culture of America? Okay, so my course, actually, when I teach novel, is I try to give them 2 novels. First one by Charles Dickens, Hard Times, and the second one, Henry James, The Portrait of a Lady. Yeah. Okay. Now, usually I give in Charles Dickens' novel, Hard Times, the major themes, the major characters, try to discuss those things, as well as trying to give them some kind of background information concerning the Victorian age, concerning utilitarian philosophy. They might not know, or they do not have actually any idea what utilitarian philosophy is, which is the greatest happiness for the greatest number of people. Now, of course, I would tell them that people, if had they implemented this philosophy in a correct manner, they would have had a greater and prosperous conditions. But certain people did not implement, did not practice this philosophy quite well. Actually, they practiced it in a very harsh and obnoxious manner that turned out to be the Victorian age had certain drawbacks. Okay?
Well, at the beginning, I would like to thank Georgia State University. I would like to thank the professors who gave us a lot for this upcoming workshops, for our colleagues and our students are getting benefit. I have learned a lot from the workshop in Georgia State. I would like to thank Georgia State, all the staff members, all the professors, and I would like to thank, of course, IREX and my colleagues contributing and sharing my ideas. Well, the subject is for assessment, and I've chosen passive voice constructions because they are not easy for our Iraqi students. They have to learn the structure of the passive voice. They have to learn the English structure of the passive voice. They have an idea about the Arabic language, how to construct the Arabic language passive voice constructions, but still the English is still a main of concern to the learning process. I haven't actually said typical genre of students to learn such passive voice constructions, but in general. Since 1980 till this time, I've been teaching English, and no, it's British English, but the passive voice constructions of English have been so much of my concern. So, the students are really have to be aware of these constructions, because the structure of the sentence is of the 3 or 2 parts. They sometimes miss the one part, and sometimes they add it. Sometimes they make confusion in such a matter.
While I was preparing for this topic, there's a proverb in my mind, always, and most probably it is a Chinese proverb. Tell me and I forget. Show me and I remember. Involve me and I understand. On this, I base the whole topic, effective tools in teaching poetry. I wouldn't prefer to choose techniques or strategies or activities in my title, because I believe that tools include all these. As a summary of my topic, I'm going to take 2 devices, very effective, I believe, and I see in teaching poetry: the visual art and the audio video. This is the introduction, poetry and the poet. The first word is very important. What is poetry? Is it an art? I believe so. It is an art. This is very important for me, with images and word association, etc., with the musical quality. So in my presentation, you're going to see this art, you're going to see the musical, and you're going to see the images. And the poet, definitely, he is all man in one man. Okay? Why visual art? Why audio video, not audio only? Visual art, since poetry is an art, it's not only to hear, it's to see, evaluate, enjoy. My intention is to engage my students' imagination. Visual art does this. Its imagination works because it's poetry. I want my students just to meditate over the lines of verse, just to see the meaning, the hidden meaning, to read what is in between. This is the main purpose of the visual art.
First of all, I would like to talk about frequency adverbs, one type of adverbs in English. The reason why I, let's say, have tackled or chose this topic is that we all do a variety of activities and tasks in our daily life, but we differ in how often we do each activity for one reason or another. The problem is how to express ourselves in an appropriate way by using this type of adverbs. I mean adverbs of frequency, and this applies to our students. This is actually. In addition, we all know that and let's say designing any procedure, we need some items and some frequency adverbials in order to gather information about different backgrounds or things, about social relations, habits, and so on. Introduction or goals. So the aim is to explore English accurate or frequency in terms of what? In terms of form, function, meaning, let's say, and position.
This presentation is about teaching solutions for problematic areas in translation. Well, translation dates back to ancient history. It has always been there, and there are masterpieces that have been translated yet. There is an increasing importance and interest in translation due to various factors. I mean, recently, at present time, it's mostly because of political events. For example, here in the States, the 9/11, this made a lot of a difference, and people started, resorting to translation. There is a loss of faith in the media. There was the Arab Gulf War. There were a lot of events. So this always increases all the people's interest, and they go to translation. They resort to it because translation bridges the gap between the various cultures and languages. Now the goal is to incorporate what I have of experience and knowledge with what I have learned here through the workshops, and to manage to produce a research paper. Probably I'll publish it here in the States if I was lucky enough. The reasons for choosing this topic, my interest in translation, theory and practice, the world interest in translation, and the importance of translation itself, and the belief that most of our students back in Iraq who graduate from the departments of English wherever, any college, they usually, the majority of them, go to be translators. So I think that we, the faculty who teaches translation, should really focus on that so as to graduate students capable of actually doing that.